Welcome, everyone. Silence your cell phones. Do we have Zoom participants at all, Mark? A few?
Less than 1,000.
Okay. All right, and they're muted? All right, we have some special speakers here today. I met Kathy at the resource fair that we had in April, and I approached her and said that it would be great if you could come and talk to at one of our meetings. And she agreed to do that right away. So we are pleased to have Kathy and a crew. Well, Ed's going to be talking. Ed Langmaid is the one that went to the conference last year, the offered to go to the National Village Zoom conference and sit in on a webinar that was about fire preparedness. So thank you for doing that. And he's going to be he's going to speak today. And I think we're all really curious about what kind of choices we can make on our property that's going to prepare us for the fires, and also what's happening in our neighborhood that's in the way of, it is? Okay, am I talking too fast? Okay. Yeah. All right, well, I'm gonna let Ed, I feel like I'm getting a echo or something. I'm gonna let Ed get started, and we have lots to learn tonight, so thank you for being here.
Thanks very much. I'm going to move over here. Oh, I can't move this at all, can I? I thought this is a wireless world, but it's not.
I'm sorry, this is so important.
Go ahead.
Afterwards, a few of us are going to go get keg and bottle, and they asked me if I'd please call them at 3 and let them know if anybody else was interested other than a few of us. So we're just going to go sit on the patio, and it's actually going to be pretty nice there. Can I just see a show of hands of any that might be interested in going, and we'll give them an estimate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Tell them about 12. And Ed. Oh,
Just in case there are more questions. Thank you very much for letting us come to this organization. There's 4 of us, I believe. We have Kathy and Michelle and Bob. Bob is a former fire chief, deputy fire chief, some big official with the San Diego Fire Department. So he can answer our fire questions. Michelle is the lead for the Fire Safe Council for Tierrasanta, and Kathy just does everything. So we've got a good group of people here. Can you all hear me? All right, and hopefully the people in back in wherever they're zooming in from can hear me as well. Ah, good. All right. So first off, Prepare Tierrasanta is the organization we started a couple of years ago, and it's a committee of the Tierrasanta Community Council. So our goal is to help the community develop a preparedness culture, because sometimes when we have a disaster, we're not going to get help. We're going to need to help ourselves. And instead of inventing stuff, maybe we can provide things to you in advance so you can be prepared to cope with the different hazards we have for us. Come on, and there's plenty of room over on that side. Just means you have to walk. Go this way. Go this way. Most people don't listen to me, so it's all right. All right. So we have this organization. We're involved in earthquake preparedness. We're involved in getting people understanding what compression-only CPR is. So we have a lot of different things that we can do to help train. And we could even come in here if you wanted to have just a session on compression-only CPR, like we did at the 2 years ago when we did the group event here. We can do that. That's easy for us to do. And before somebody didn't silence their phone. All right. So first thing I'd like to do is let you know that we don't think of just wildfire. We worry about other things The two big hazards in San Diego are what? Earthquakes and wildfires. If we started feeling a rumbling right now, and it wasn't somebody who had Mexican food for lunch or something, then what if we start shaking a little bit, what are we going to do? Boy, it's hard to duck and cover when you're crowded like this. So the first one down on the ground is going to be the survivor. That should be the incentive. Next, oh, I've got the slide thing. I was gonna say next slide, and he can't do
Stay
it.
behind the podium for the camera, okay?
Okay, but I don't want to block these from. I don't want to block. How about if I go back here? Oh, the mic. Well, he said he gave me 6 feet.
Okay, Rick.
All right, what we're gonna see. Sorry, we got to move on. What we're gonna see is a reenactment, reenactment of the Kobe earthquake of 1999. That was a 7.3 magnitude earthquake. And what I'm trying to get across in this video is that you don't have a lot of time to make a decision whether to drop, cover, and roll or say, oh, this is fun. So this is it. I want you to watch this video. There's a mannequin right here hidden by the Chinese subtitles. There's a mannequin there. And when she starts to move, it's not because she's becoming a human. It's because of the shaking of this shake table. How long does it take before once she starts moving to when she should have been on the ground? Watch this video. Play. So how much time was it before she started shaking and then that bookcase came down on top of her? How long? Like a second. So if you're going to take 2 or 3 seconds to decide what you're going to do, it's too late. So what the officials say to do is to pretend whatever an earthquake happens, pretend it's a test to help you exercise this. If it shakes just a little, get under something sturdy. This isn't very sturdy, but it's better than nothing. Get under something sturdy, hold on, because if not, it's going to walk away. If you're in the kitchen, maybe get in a dining room. If you're in bed, stay in bed. Put a pillow over your head so if anything falls down, your head's more protected. Yes, sir.
What about getting next to a cabinet? Didn't want to use your podium, but what about just laying on the floor next to that cabinet?
That's what yeah. So, but you don't have a lot of time to move. So don't say, oh, I think I'm going to go this way outside. As soon as you can, drop, cover, hold on, protect your head like this.
Okay.
It depends on how ambulatory you are as well. Some people in wheelchairs, and what they have to do is that they have to lock their wheelchair and then crouch as much as they can to protect their head. People on walkers, maybe sit down on the walker if it's a sit down type walker and protect your head. So it just depends on the person, depends where you're at. Glass will probably break it'll probably break. We only get a quake like that about every 150 to 300 years. Do anybody remember the last one we had about 150 years ago? So the ones we've had have been practices. And that's all I'm going to say about earthquakes. It's just important that we see them as serious and we react accordingly. Your phone can be set, I'm sorry, most people's smartphones can be set to give you a warning, advanced warning, a possible advanced warning. So you'll have a little bit more time, like 2 or 3 seconds to know that to do something. Which if you're doing child care for a grandkid or something, it gives you a chance to do things. But most of the new smartphones can be set so that it'll give you a warning when the sensors all around Southern California start feeling it. They'll let you know. Yes.
Can you show us how to do that?
I can, but it's one's different thing between smartphone, Android, and an iPhone. So we're not going to cover that. but we can give that information to you, to Cassandra. We'll get that information to you, yes.
We've been taught to secure our furniture to the walls.
Yes,
That person did not. Have it felt.
thank you for noticing that. And the refrigerator also, did you notice the champagne bottle falling out? They lost the champagne bottle. But anyway, yeah, yes, there are things that you can do, but this isn't an earthquake. We can cover that during Earthquake Preparedness Month. Things you can do to secure your cabinets, secure your refrigerators, so they won't fall on top of you. This is another safety feature you can do to prepare for an earthquake. So we'll cover that in the next couple, in a month or two. Moving on. Oh, this was the Tierrasanta Community Council earthquake drill. And so you could see some of them were under the table, some barely under the table, some poking their head out of the table, and then others who are covering. And but this is what you should do when you start feeling that, because you won't have time, if it's a severe one, to do anything.
Are you sure that's not a Christmas?
Pretty sure I was there. It's like, I took the picture.
Party.
All right. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about is wildfires. Has anybody noticed that there seems to be an increased number of wildfires around the world? Do you understand why that is? It's a change of the climate and other things, and it's not much we can do about it, but we can prepare our homes for wildfires. You know, the people in Los Angeles, many of them wish that they would have prepared their homes better for a wildfire. People in Washington, Spokane, Washington, much of that city right now is in smoke or ablaze. We need to consider the change of things. It used to be great here, we didn't have wildfires very often, but that could easily change, and we need to change with that risk. So today I'm going to cover wildfire risk. Sorry, I have to keep talking to this. Wildfire behavior, actions to help you save your home through Zone 0 and home hardening. And let's move on. We know we're at risk for wildfires. The Cedar Fire we had in 2003, in 2007 we had fires nearby, and we are in the very high fire hazard severity zone. Every home, apartment, house, condo in Tierrasanta is in this categorized zone. So this is the highest zone. It means we can't just say, oh, it's not going to happen to us. Because it will. These people had no idea they were going to lose their home there in Los Angeles last year. We don't want to be in that situation. I have met with people from the Firewise meetings we go to. They've lost their home in 2003 or 2007, and they don't want to do this again. They don't want to have the problems they had. It's a big stressor, so we don't want that to happen. So with regard to fire behavior, I'm going to call it fire behavior, we have three different things to cover: flames, the radiant heat, and embers. We have to treat each of those different parts of a wildfire differently to make sure we're covering all of our bases. So we'll talk about flames first. Flames from the wildfire come and catch maybe the wooden fence on fire, which leads me to the first question of the day. How many of you live in a single family dwelling and you have control over the outside part of your house?
On control.
I'd rather not. All right, so about half of you live in a single family dwelling. How many people live in condos? Okay, and how many people live in apartments? All right, well, now I know who the audience is. Very good. I'll try to cover condos as well as the apartments. One of the largest problems in Tierrasanta is going to be all of the wooden fences, because the wooden fences just like to catch on fire. You know, that's their goal in life, to dry out and catch on fire, because I don't know. And when the fire comes uh, back from the side of your house and then turns the corner and touches your wall of your house, that fire ladder that just it comes across, and the fire starts burning, and it might catch the eaves on fire or the boards up there or other combustibles on fire. That is one of the hazards that we have to address, even though it costs a lot of money to replace a wooden fence with a metal fence or non-combustible fence. They have rules, and we will talk about those rules in a little bit. But the fire comes along and catches the trees on fire or the fence or storage containers, and then those things, those flames catch other things on fire, like the ground, all of the vegetation near your house, or maybe you have rubber mulch or bark mulch next to your house. It's going to catch that on fire. It's somewhat that's just a problem. Then you have a radiant heat, and that's symbolized on this picture by the storage container that's on fire. Wildfire can get up to 2,000 degrees, and wood can self-ignite at 500 degrees. So you can see, it's not a problem for fire to really spread. If you've ever been to Miramar, and you've been to the Miramar Air Show, and when they blow those explosive things up, you can feel the heat, and it's a quarter mile away. Well, this heat can radiate over to your house. If you have PVC windows, it can melt that PVC. Depending on the vintage of the PVC, the windows might fall out. That'll catch your drapes on fire, and your house can catch on fire. Or the fire can start there and then go up to your roof and catch your house on fire. So that's the radiant heat. The next part are the embers. And the experts say that 60 to 90% of all home fires that start because of a wildfire are started because of embers. So that fire may not come from anywhere but from the sky, and these embers, it might be the size of a piece of charcoal, but the wind blows them around. It gets very turbulent out there, and they can fly for up to a mile from the wildfire and catch things like palm trees and vegetation and homes on fire. Kind of interesting, huh? All right, so there are solutions. The solutions are having defensible space. You're defending against the wildfire. And there are zone 1, zone 0, zone 1, and zone 2. And there's home hardening. Home hardening is where you harden your home to protect it against embers and other things. And we will talk about all of those. Next. Zone 1. Zone 0. I had a zone 0 book here. Do we know what happened to it? Got notes in.
It's got it.
I don't know. I must have said it about someone else. The fire department in April, middle of April, established this zone 0 guidelines for existing structures. So I'm going to leave a copy of this if I can find my copy, with Cassandra probably, and so you can refer to it. But we have a handout that has the link to the section. Oh, so we have this handout that has a QR code that you can link to it. And this is the 20-page document that you don't have to print out unless you want to, but it covers all of the different pieces to the zone 0 guidelines, as well as some home hardening guidelines. And this is the link. You can memorize this if you want. If you're really good, you could take a picture of that.
We could put that link, we'll put that link at our event page
We'll put that link
at the
on the event page.
website. It'll be there
Cassandra will have
tomorrow.
it. All right, so the zone zero guidelines includes the requirements, the steps for residents, and a phased compliance plan. So in that document is is the zone zero requirements for from the San Diego Fire Department. And a guideline, so it tells you what you need to do the first year. First year is education awareness. So this is part of what they want us to do, is to educate the community. Next year is 2027 is basic maintenance and immediate risk reduction. So that's getting rid of the high priority hazards you have, like if you have a stack of firewood, to move that away from the house. You have gasoline tanks, move it away from you. You have brush, you got piles of things you haven't taken to the dump yet. That's that. The 2028 is vegetation compliance, and that's where you adjust your trees or you take down trees if they're in the wrong place because they are going to cause a fire. That's what they cover under vegetation compliance. And 2029 is they want you to be in full compliance. That means the fences need to be better. They need to be non-combustible within 5 feet of your house. But what they say, what the San Diego Fire Department doesn't matter if your insurance company is saying you've got to do these this year or next year. So you have to comply with both the fire regulations, but possibly more so the insurance companies because they are insuring your home.
What if you're in a homeowners association and you don't have control over the fencing and the
Could-
planting?
Yeah,
Ed,
so this is where
Could you repeat that question back?
I can. What about HOAs where you don't really have any control? I would say that the board of directors for your HOA need to be briefed on what the requirements are. They'll be getting things from the insurance companies. They'll be getting things from they can get information from Zone Zero requirements. And Michelle would like to say something, but you have to come up here. You have to come up here because it's being recorded.
The homeowners association will have to comply because your insurance is going to get canceled. Right now in the fire safe councils, they just said at the last meeting, countywide, they're going to form a committee with lawyers and they're going to find out just how powerful this law is. And it just might be that we were told that the CCNRs are not going to be as powerful as this zone zero compliance. So I've already been told by someone who works for the fire department, she changed out her fences and put in steel fences. And it's out of compliance with the CCNRs, but there's nothing they can do because this apparently takes priority. But as I said, the countywide fire safe councils are going to create a committee, or they're in the process of doing that. And we will be on that because we live in a homeowners association. And so it's really important for our whole community. So as soon as we know things like that, believe me, we're going to let you all know. And we'll send it to Cassandra, and Cassandra can then publish it to all of you folks.
We've already spoken to a couple HOAs and their membership, and we're happy to go to your HOA and talk to your HOA board or the membership to give them a brief on this information. Yes,
Could you define zone 0 and 1 and 2?
thanks. I appreciate you doing that. And I don't know why I missed that slide. Zone 0 is the wall of your structure to 5 feet out. So zone 0 is that 5 feet around your house, including attached structures like decks and patio covers, things like that. That's considered part of the house if it's attached to your house. So it's around that is the zone 0. And anything in zone 0 needs to be in compliance with the zone 0 guidelines to help reduce the risk of a wildfire causing your house to burn down. So and I'll get into that next. So things likely to be ignited are vegetation, organic materials like leaves, and we're going to have lots of leaves throughout the year. But during a wildfire, those leaves they may come into your yard even though you thought you were clean because of the winds. So they're coming from other places. But we don't want organic matter there because if an ember lands on that, it can start a little fire, which starts other things on fire, and pretty soon you've got a fire all the way around your house. So the goal is to get rid of you want this to be an ember-free zone. A stored combustible material, if you got, wood lumber that you keep for different projects, you want that to be away from, if you have this, what's this called, this material here? Lattice. If you have lattice made out of wood, that's quite flammable because there's a lot of exposed wood there. It's thin and it catches fire really easily. So you don't want that in your zone 0. And other things like leaves in your gutters, because the embers are coming down from the palm trees and everything else, and they're going to catch part of your house on fire. Now, what I'd like you to do is talk to the person next to you, figure out how you're going to do that, and discuss if you have a house or a condo, what things you have that are combustible in your zone 0. So I'm just going to give you a couple minutes to talk to your next door neighbor. Marilyn's going to talk to Barbara, and you talk to her. Listen, so all right, if I can get control back of this. Thank you for sharing with each other. It's good. It's good for us to understand what the situation is. We're going to bring this back. Actually, we're supposed to. Thank you. You guys really got involved. That was good.
You've got our attention.
We have been working on this. We've been going to classes and meetings on this subject almost every month. So we have a fairly good ideas, but we're still volunteers. We can't. We are just trying to give you information from CAL FIRE, the San Diego Fire Department. So what we're trying to do is get this information out to you in a reasonable way. So that's what we're doing here. Someone asked a question about PVC or vinyl fences. The vinyl fences are considered combustible. Besides the fact that some of them have 4x4 wood things in the posts, they catch on fire when it gets really hot. And if they don't catch on fire, like the trash cans. Trash cans may not catch on fire, but as they melt, all the contents of that, like paper, are going to catch on fire. So that's the reason why they want them to be outside of zone
That's why it's
zero.
a limit
I'm sorry?
outside.
Outside the city limit would be better. So if the regulations, when you get the handout, the regulations talk about vinyl fencing, and they are permitted on for the fences running parallel, but not for the ones that are coming attached to your house. So that what they recommend for the house is a metal or non-combustible product such as hardy board or aluminum or steel to serve as that buffer zone from 0 to 5 feet. So that's a very difficult question, and not all of you have single family dwellings, so we're not going to spend much time on that. But it's just good to get your awareness, and then you can talk to other people. I was asked if there are people that can come around and give their opinion on what you need to do, and 3 of us have been trained by CAL FIRE to do assessments. And so we're trying to develop skills to do that diplomatically and because we don't want you to hurt us. So we're working on it. We're not quite there yet, but we're working on those skills. Any questions on that? Moving on. So here's the zone 0, and I've covered all that. It just shows different steps. This year, next year, the year after that, the year after that. And it says in here in big print, insurance companies can require homeowners to do more. So if you have homeowners insurance, then they can maybe not cancel your insurance, but they may not renew your insurance if you don't take steps to improve your fire resistance. We're gonna now, so that was zone 0. We're not gonna talk about zone 1 or zone 2 today. And we're talking about zone 0 because that's the first step. And that's what the regulations are really covering. The second part is home hardening, because it doesn't matter if you get rid of your fences, if you haven't hardened your house, then there are things there could be problems. Here's a vent in somebody's house in my neighborhood. It wasn't mine, but it could have been. But I fixed mine before I took a picture of it. So this is somebody else's vent going into their garage, and you can see that hole in the vent. This is a 1976 home, and so the steel, the galvanized steel has disintegrated. Now an ember could get in there really easily, and besides that, they have changed the guidelines. They no longer use the 1/4 inch like was installed in 1976 in my house. They're now putting in 1/8 inch to reduce the embers coming in to our house to a more reasonable size, and will keep some of the bugs out of your house as well. And so that's one of the things. If you have a gap in your walls, your vents, roof, maybe your garage door is cockeyed and it allows things to fall in, that might be an ember. So it'd be good to get it so that the garage door doesn't have gaps when it closes. So when it's closed, go outside and look around and see what your garage doors got any gaps. Other gaps, vents, roofs, doors, even tiles can have gaps on your roof. And if embers can get in there, they can get on the paper there and cause problems. Yes, Michelle.
Do you have to replace your vents?
Do you have to replace your vents? Oh, okay. Oh, all right. So this, what my cheerleading squad over here says is that, so if you've got this and you're a handy person, not a handyman or a handy ma'am, but a handy person, you can go to Home Depot. I've went to Home Depot and bought a roll of this. It's galvanized and it's welded on each line and it's lapped. So it's a fairly good piece of 1/8 inch, and you can cut it to size and put it over your vent, and making sure that it's stopping, the gaps are not there. but you can do it yourself if you're a handy person, or you can hire a handy person to do it. There's probably people like that all around. All right. So home hardening covers these different pieces, and we're not going over these, but it's good for you to understand home hardening. And in the Zone Zero guidelines, the 20 pages online from the fire department, they have a couple pages about home hardening. So you can just refer to that, and that might answer your questions about that home hardening. But that includes gutters, vents, eaves, siding. If you have siding on your house, wood siding, then there's some requirements for how that needs to be taken care of. Decks, porches, balconies, and stairs, fences. If you have a deck and you've got all of your Christmas boxes underneath your deck, they don't want any combustibles under your decks, because the fire catches them on fire, and then that catches your deck on fire, which catches your house on fire. So you don't want combustibles in your.
Trex combustible.
Trex is combustible. It's a resin-based product, and you can still have it on your decks, but you want to make sure you do everything else. If your deck is attached to your house, it's okay for you to have that there, but it wouldn't want to install a new fence with Trex type of materials, and they have resin fences that you can buy at Home Depot, but you shouldn't put them within 5-foot section. I hope I rambled enough to answer your question on that. Accessory buildings. If you have a Rubbermaid plastic storage shed like I have 2 of right next to my house, you shouldn't have a Rubbermaid plastic because they're combustible, and when they melt, if they're not on fire, they melt, and all the combustibles inside the house catch on inside the storage container, catch on fire, and then catch the house on fire. So those will have to replace them with a metal or hardy board type of storage container. Exterior doors, all those different things. That's home hardening, and that's where does that mean move on?
400 too far away.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, the cameraman there keeps telling me not to move on. Let's see. So we've covered wildfire behavior and the different solutions we have, Zone Zero, defensible space. Then we have the home hardening. Most important thing, it's good to come home after wildfire and see that your home is still there. That's really what we're trying to do. And even if it's painful, even if you love that palm tree, which has its palm fronds under your house right next to the eaves, it might be time to let it go. We like these, we've been growing them, but it's kind of a new world, and we're learning about these things. We're trying to get better.
Talking about home hardening, how about the stucco side of the house?
The stucco is very non-combustible, so stucco is better than siding. I'll give the rules for the siding. The siding it can't be within 8 inches from the bottom of to the ground. So if you have siding that goes all the way down to the ground, you'll need to maybe remove the top of the first 8 inches. Some people are taking the first 2 feet, just depends on you. The wood siding catches on fire fairly easily. So if you have leaves down there at the bottom that blow in and catch on fire because of the embers, then that catches the siding on fire, which catches your house on fire. Unless you have a concrete fiber type of siding, like hardy board or others.
P111, you can see the condos around here. How is it?
P111. I don't know what that is. Huh?
It's old.
It's a type of sheet stock, it's lumber.
Oh,
It's plywood. It's wood.
plywood.
That's combustible.
It's combustible. Now there is recently an approved cedar that's impregnated with something, and it's approved for. It's been tested for wildfires, but they still don't want that within the first 5 feet of it, just because they're just not too comfortable with that, I guess. Whatever. But the spray for the paint's not good to cover combustibles. The paint doesn't work because quite often it degrades faster than you can paint it. Kind of like the Coronado Bridge where you have to keep painting it every year. So you don't want to do that. So, okay, let's see. So the fire safe program, there is over 60 fire safe councils in San Diego County, and Tierrasanta has one of them. And Michelle is the lead for the Tierrasanta Fire Safe Council. She volunteered for that. So we're, as I said, we're volunteers, but we're just really in it to try to help the community adapt. There's also a FireWise program, which is an outstanding program because it takes the information from fire safe and other sources for a neighborhood of from 8 to 12, 2,500 homes or whatever. And they get the community gets together and starts working towards a community. And the more that develops, the better the community can be resilient to wildfires because they all work together. The problem is there's some people don't want to take down their palm tree, and so you have to work around that issue and try to do the best job you can. But FEMA sponsors the FireWise program, and if you're an approved FireWise program, the insurance companies have to give you some sort of a credit on your insurance bill for being a part of a FireWise organization. As far as I know, we don't have a FireWise organization in this community yet. Well, I'm happy to help somebody develop one. I don't have time to develop one for my neighborhood, but I'm trying to find someone in my neighborhood to help start that. Any questions? Yes.
Plastic grass okay in your yard?
Plastic grass. Well, plastic grass is fine in your yard, but they do not want plastic grass within 5 feet of your structure because it can burn. So the best thing is rocks. Rocks are really good.
I'm a canyon
Uh-huh.
and I have reached out to the powers that be, the maintenance, and not gotten a response. And I've got canyon growth over my property line.
And that's a question for Michelle. So the question is, if you live on a canyon, if you live on a canyon, there may be city property into the canyon and other things. You know, the San Diego Fire Department, not the fire department, as the city department cleans out areas about every 2 years, but there's still growth. But it's just hard to control the growth because it's going to rain and things are going to grow. So the goal here is for us to do what we can to make our homes resilient from wildfires, realizing that the embers are coming from a mile away. Whether or not there's a fire in the canyon, there could be embers coming nearby and landing near your house. Yes, sir.
If you have hardened trees like yuccas, you need to cut them all down. Or it's hard to burn.
This Zone Zero guidelines, one of their pages is this guidance on trees. So take a look at this. This will help give you some guidance on trees. They also have a small one page just on fire smart vegetation. So that 20-page document really is.
That's the link that you're giving us, all that information is part of the
Yeah,
link.
the link for guidelines for San Diego have a lot of information in there.
Ed, I'm going to go back to this interaction up here about the canyon living. A lot of us live in a canyon. Is there a path to communicate with someone if you live on a canyon? Can you provide that to us and we could post it on our website?
Yes, I'll send it to Cassandra, and it's actually through the city. And I've already had a couple complaints from other people since we've been an entity. And so it's a way for you to contact the city, whether it's on city property or whether it's private property. There are two different routes. But city property, I'd say right now, take a picture with your phone, and there's an app called Get It Done. And you've done it,
I've done it.
and they don't. Okay. The other thing I'd say is if you can, we have something called MAD, Maintenance Assessment District. We get together the second Tuesday of every month. And so that is where we deal directly with the city. And they're using our tax dollars. That's what MAD is. It's assessed out of our property taxes. So we have a group that's been there for decades, and they talk directly with the city. We have 2 city minimum representatives that come, and we say, okay, what's going on with that? What happened? And okay, this is what we're doing. And they report to us, and they come back and they report what they did or didn't do. So I would say that's another route, but I'm gonna also, yeah, send the information that I have from, but again, it's going through the city. But I would say if you can attend that MAD, I can also give Cassandra the MAD contact so that you guys can be in that loop. Anybody can come to those meetings. It's just like going to the Tierrasanta Community Council meetings, but MAD is more direct because they're the city who's supposed to keep clear at least 10 feet from public thoroughfares. So,
Would it
but
be a good idea
I've
to
gotten
start it
involved
on
with that.
fire?
Huh?
Would it be a good idea to start it on fire to get their attention?
Probably not.
Oh.
I wouldn't recommend it.
But also, that's another that I will include, getting pictures to the fire department themselves. So I will also send
I'll
that.
send it out to everybody.
Yeah. So, yeah, because it's a big problem for all of us.
Yes.
I know.
One last question.
Fire waiting to happen.
So Santo Road having a lot of
Yeah,
vegetation.
we've got a lot of elevation changes in Tierrasanta, and that just and some of that's privately owned. Might be HOAs involved. Some of it may be community owned. That's what we need to start working on and try to fix before we have the wildfire. So it's good that you're aware of that now, and we need to figure out the best way of dealing with it. So
Well, thank
that's it.
you, Ed, and thanks everyone. Thanks to everyone for being here today.
They've changed most.
Right, well, that was wonderfully helpful. Thank you so much. Okay, great. Yes. Good to see all of you. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad we have a nice full room today. So many people here. So I'm happy to have a chance to introduce you to one of our supporting partners. He has not had a chance to visit this meeting yet, even though he's been a partner for a while. He comes highly recommended by Georgia and Mark and Denise. Please welcome Michael Solomon with Reliable Builders.
Hello, everybody. Thank you, Georgia. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, all of you guys. I didn't know there was gonna be so many people, so I'm a little bit nervous. My little speech won't be as fun as your house catching on fire.
How
But-
could it be?
But I've been a part of Tierrasanta Village for a little bit, and the reason I joined it,
I think we're having some trouble hearing you.
I try to support the villages because I think it's a. Can you hear me? All right.
You're very white. Where's a podium?
Is it good now? Okay. No worries.
A lot of rules.
Yeah. Well, I'll keep it short and to the point. I'm a general contractor. I got my license in 2019, and the reason I connected so well with Tierrasanta Village is because there's a lot of general contractors out there. They're either not good or they really don't care, right? And my main thing is that I care what I do. I care for the people that I do it for, and I try to look and take care of the best interest of whoever is hiring me, right? It's not always a fun job, but I try to make it easy for you guys to make decisions, to see what's the right thing to do, to tell you when things that you don't need, you don't really need to spend money on.
In the room, we're having trouble with sound in the room.
I can speak louder. Okay. So, in short, and in advance, I would like to apologize for everything being so expensive in San Diego. It's not all my fault. But I just wanted to say that I'm here. If you guys need any help, any guidance, if you are going to do the job, if you're not going to do the job, but if you just want some information and, have it clear what you're walking into or what you're not walking into, I'm more than happy to spend some time with whoever needs it. When I heard that there is a very big need for smaller things to be done in the house, I'm the one that believes that if I'm not going to do anything, then why should I bring somebody and make money on that person? So I brought Kyle with me. Kyle owns the franchise of Mr. Handyman in San Diego. I've known him for a few years now. He's part of a very important group that we meet every Thursday. So if you guys need anything else that we cannot help you with, we can definitely recommend you somebody that you can feel comfortable talking and working with. Kyle can take care of changing a faucet, replacing a fence, a lot of smaller things, and I know you guys can trust him 100%. He is certified, and he'll tell you a little bit about himself, but he's certified with aging in place, grab bars, things that probably a lot of you might need or used to want to get replaced and stuff like that. So I want to thank you all for having me here. And this is Kyle. Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. People wonder.
So can one of you test? Can one of you do soffit soffit work? So you build eaves. Can you
Want to enclose
close
eaves with
eaves?
the soffit?
Yeah.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Can you do that? I'm sorry, I was
Yeah.
brain
Yes.
dead.
Yes.
Sure.
And how about looking at vents and replacing vent screens?
Absolutely. We do a lot of that for rodent remediation, right? But going with the eighth of an inch, oh, you're giving it up, aren't you? Oh, that was quick.
I told you were
That
gonna be
was quick.
here.
My name's Kyle, and I have the Mr. Handyman franchise here in San Diego. Been doing it for 9 years. I have a lot of customers up here and Scripps Ranch and everything. I was born in Grossmont Hospital, but born and raised in San Carlos. I live in La Mesa. So I have 5 guys that work for me, and the woman who answers the phone for me, who would take your calls, is my air traffic controller. Her name's Angelique, and she is a blessing in my life. So, any questions you have about any of these things, you got a guy. Just call us. We're here to help you find somebody to do what you need, whether it's us, Mike, or someone else. I will, absolutely.
We appreciate
No, I don't want you to find me.
we appreciate that, Kyle. Thank you. Hold on, George has some.
Actually, I have a question for Mike because
Sure.
I know we've talked about it, but many of us here want to redo our bathrooms because they need to be more accessible. Is that something that you could do?
Yes. So a lot of you have tubs in the bathrooms and you need to go over it, the ladder or fly over. And I don't think you know how to fly. So yes, we do a lot of tub to shower conversions. Sometimes you're not able to do a roll-in shower because of structural things that can't happen on a second floor sometimes on a slab that has tension wires, but you can definitely reduce your from a 20-inch tub, or even some showers that were built a long time ago that have a very pretty high lip to a very as small as possible, so it makes it easier to go in there. So we do a lot of tub conversions to shower to make it easier to get into. Yep, we can do either built-in benches, or some like to have there's some chairs that you can have in your shower, but we definitely think of putting either corner benches or bench along the whole back of the shower, grab bars. If you're only installing grab bars, Kyle can definitely help you with that if you already have a shower and you just need the grab bars. We do a lot of work for the V towers in La Jolla, if you're familiar with it. So yeah, we have a lot of solutions to make your life easier. And if you are having trouble finding solutions for something or have a problem, you can always give us a call and we'll guide you on what's the best way.
And
we can-
Michael, you have quite a bit of experience with like marble and granite. I know you did some delicate work for Mark.
Yes, so
Right,
I did
yeah.
some onyx tile on Mark's fireplace.
Okay.
I remodeled Georgia's shower.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Yeah, whole
She's
bathroom.
she still kept the tub because she knows how to
Yeah.
fly, but it looks beautiful. And we're doing some tile work for Sue
There's Sue.
Christian.
Okay.
Somebody did a poor job on a little bathroom floor. It is small, but we're still gonna take care of it, removing the tile and reinstalling it the right way so she can wash it and not be worried about having a leak down to her first floor.
It's not a
It's
question, it's just a
Kyo's
compliment.
contact information on the event page at the website.
Well, I was going to say, I've seen Mark and Denise's fireplace, but your guy did a fabulous job on my tile. I mean, it's absolutely perfect.
Thank you. And I'm pretty sure if
Review goes a long way.
oh, she did, yes. No, Georgia she's afraid of cameras, but she did a nice little video testimonial from me, so I appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure if anybody wants to learn a little bit of how I work, Mark's job was very small, but we took care of it. Georgia's project was a little bit more intense. It was a whole bathroom, so I'm pretty sure she would answer some questions if you have them.
Well, we
About
just
me.
want to say thank you for being a supporting partner and supporting our village and partnering
No,
with that.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
I think we're done.
Thank you. Kyle will leave some business cards for
Yeah,
you guys.
we'll get some for.
I have a 1.5-year-old baby, so I need to run. Be with her before she goes to bed, so I won't stay the whole meeting. Thank you.
We are so fortunate to have supporting partners that help us in all aspects of our life. All right, we're going to move on here. Committee corner. Marilyn, you're up with membership. Oh, I know.
Okay, for membership, right now we have 146 members. And I know last month I said we had 152, but I found out that when you go to the control panel and it gives the total of members, built into that membership are some John Does. And it also includes Leslie Fogg and Cassandra. So I had to subtract those. So right now we're at 146 full members. Let's see, did I see Joan walk in? Joan Tedeschi is one of our new members just last week, and she's already come to our walking group, and here she is at the Monday member meeting. So Joan, welcome. And she lives in the Villa Monterey, so any of you that live there, she'll be coming to our neighborhood group meetings too. And I don't know, is there anyone else who's a new member or prospective member? I don't think so. Okay. So moving on then to the volunteer of the month. If you recall last month, I said that it was a couple. One was going to, because I couldn't honor one without the other of a husband and wife team. So one was the July member volunteer of the month, and now we have the August one. And it is going to be Carol and HT Link. And there's HT. And I just wanted to review a little bit. If you went to the Felipe's fundraiser that we had last month, you know how hard they worked getting that organized and being there. Both of them were there to welcome all the members. We must have had at least 50 people there. So, they did a great job. Thank you so much for handling that fundraiser. We made $228 on that fundraiser. And just to compare, the Rubio's one that we did several months ago, we made $174. So Felipe's was 228. From the Rhinestone Grannies, we made $114 profit. And from Ray's Right, where you buy the gift cards, we have so far made $555 this year. So keep buying those gift cards for Vons and all your purchases. It's just wonderful. So we have a total of $1,071 just in fundraising from restaurant fundraisers and so forth this year. So anyway, I want to congratulate Carol and HT.
Thanks, guys.
And besides doing the Felipe's fundraiser, I just want to talk about the other things they've done to merit being a volunteer of the month. Carol is active on the social committee. She's been on the cornhole planning team, and she has volunteered to research upcoming social events. So that's Carol. HT leads the golf team, the golf group, and he has become our village photographer. I don't know if you've noticed at some of the big events, he's there with his camera taking photos. So thank you for all that you as a team, what you do to help us. Thank you so much. The other thing I just wanted to address is that we have the honor flight coming up in September. And so we are going to again do our mail call thank you notes to the veterans. Last time we were able to send over 250, I can't remember if it was 52 or 55 thank you notes. I think I'd like to see if we could get above 300 this time. Well, I think we can. I think we can. But we're going to meet on August 28th at the clubhouse at 1 o'clock to address and write the thank you notes. But I just wanted to say, I put out a stack of thank you notes. And if anybody would like to take some and do them at home, if you can't come on the 28th, and just write, a few words, dear veteran, thank you so much for your service. We appreciate all that you sacrificed for us, whatever. And Rhoda came up with a great idea. Rhoda said, my handwriting is just not so good anymore. And to come and, write notes or even at home. So she has created, she brought it today. I don't know if can you find it? Well, anyway, she printed a little note and we're going to glue it in and then we can just sign it, Tierrasanta Village. So did you find it? Oh, well, at any rate. So if you want to create something like that, you can do that. If your handwriting is not what it used to be, or it's painful to write, you can do that. Also, we're collecting blank cards. Someone donated a whole bunch of blank cards that would be appropriate to send to a veteran. So if you receive these, a lot of us get these in the mail, any kind of blank cards or thank you notes, we'll take those and distribute them for people to write the mail call letters. So thank you for all that and here's what Rhoda designed, just a little, and then that would be glued. And we can do that if you want to bring it. We can do that the day of the, just glue it in here and we can sign it Tierrasanta Village. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of your help and contributions over the last couple years that we've been doing the honor flight. And it was brought to our attention originally by Gunnar. And Gunnar, thank you so much for your service and for being an honoree of the honor flight. So anyway, so if you want to take some cards and take them home and write a few, you can turn them into the clubhouse or you can give them to me when you see me. And both Cassandra and Leslie said they'll collect them. And if you have blank cards, you can take them to the clubhouse and drop them off. This morning, someone gave me like 20 cards, so that was really great. So thanks for all your help. Okay.
And I haven't done this in years. I used to be up here all the time. I am so happy and thrilled to be able to represent our committee, the care committee, and to help our new president over there. So anyway, our committee has been working on updating a document called the Continuum of Care. And it was originally written in February of 2024. And at that time, Bradlin and I worked on it and got it done. And needless to say, it's become very non-existent now. And we decided we needed a new one because it was really, really important. This document is a guide to your options whenever care is needed or changed. And we're happy to let you know that it will be finished and distributed to all of our members in September. That's our goal. In it will be a guide to all your options, independent living, home care, adult daycare, assisted living, board and care, memory care, skilled nursing services, and continuing care retirement communities. So all of that will be included in this document, and it'll be available for you to look at and get questions answered. In addition, we've also put together a pamphlet which provides information, outreach, and support for our members. This document explains who we are, services we can provide, and services we are unable to provide. We will be continuing to provide you with various peer-to-peer meetings, and we'll be sending you a survey regarding your choices of topics that you would like addressed. On the back of this document, it states that a caring community is built on one act of kindness at a time. That is what our committee is all about.
It's time for our social report. So I'm going to call up Georgia and Denise.
Hi. Just wanted to remind you that August 14th, we have the Boot Scoot and Barbecue coming up. And there's only 9 slots left, so we're getting a very good crowd. It's going to be pretty similar to last year. It's Phil's. So you'll have your choice of ribs, chicken, coleslaw, potato salad, thanks, baked beans, assorted home-baked goods that we're going to have, line dancing again. If you, Cassandra set out a reminder with some links in it if you want to practice beforehand, if you're uncomfortable, because Dick, I want to see you out there again right next to me. And it should be a lot of fun. So I hope if you haven't signed up that you will and attend. Any questions?
I'm saying registration closes on August 7th.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, so mine should be quick here. Just a reminder for an upcoming event, the Happy Hour Bingo. It's going to be September 15th, 3 o'clock. More info to come, of course. And Diana is in charge of that. Oh, there she is. Oh, Diana and Diana. She has a twin. Okay. Anyway, and then I just want to thank everyone who attended. We had like a collaboration about doing small events. And that was held on the 24th, and we had really good input. And so the social leadership's going to be meeting in terms of like where we go from here, but we got some great ideas. One of the things was eating out or exploring restaurants in San Diego. We've also already put together a theater group that is going to go to the theater. So if you guys have any more input on small groups that don't require a lot of organizing, you just kind of go there, meet, and do your thing. So anyway, that's it. Thank you.
Business manager, Hannah. Just two quick things, not a lot from me. I also. Did everyone see the Uber workshop that's coming up? Okay, so August 19th and 26th in this room, 2 to 3 o'clock, Senior Tech Connect will be teaching us how to download Uber from start to finish, the entire app process and all the ins and outs of the app. And there's a lot of new features to make it easier to use. Those things can be complicated. So hopefully we'll have a good lesson from them. So sign up for those. If you can't make it to both, that's okay, but it is a process. They'll download the app in the first session and then teach you to use it in the second. Just one other quick update about the new software. Leslie and I are really getting into it. It's fantastic. It's so easy to use. You're all going to love it. There's a meeting on Wednesday with Helpful Village, the leadership there, about implementation. So as soon as that meeting is complete, we should have a launch date for you, official go live date, and any other information you need to use that successfully. Estimated launch. That's what you'll have after Wednesday. All right, thanks, guys.
Okay, it is my very personal pleasure to introduce our new president, Bradlin, who's going to, yes, give a little talk.
It's kind of like you don't know what it's like to be a parent until you have a baby. I've been knowing that I'm going to be president for a long time now, but when it becomes a reality, it's a little different story. So I'm with a lot of trepidation, nervousness, and confidence because I kind of feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know if you know it or not, but I did die once. And it was a beautiful experience. I walked into the light and I was ready to go. And all of a sudden it was like, and I was in my hospital bed. I opened my eyes and I said to my daughters, you don't have to worry, I'm not going to die today. And I haven't died since. So anyway, I don't know. I want you all to read the vibes, my initial attempt to write the president's message, because I spent a long time on that. And I'm not gonna repeat it because I want you to read it. I want you to read the vibes. And so I thought that I would start. Most of you have lived here forever. Most of you bought a house in Tierrasanta when they were all brand new neighborhoods. Well, in the year that we had our mass evacuation, I moved to Tierrasanta. I didn't know if I had a house because everybody was evacuated. We weren't allowed to go with our furniture into our house. I didn't know if I had a house. We had sold our house in Yorba Linda, which is where I raised our children, and our daughters both ended up in San Diego with husbands here. My husband said, if we move down there, you got to guarantee you're not going to leave us. And my daughter said, if you want to be a grandmother, because my two sons, my stepsons from Art's first marriage, they live in Missouri. We didn't visit Missouri every weekend. So when they were little, it was like, and who are you again? And I told my husband, when our daughters have babies, I want to be a grandmother. That's a rare opportunity. So my daughters each had one child. And when they were born a year apart, bam, bam. They became in the morning, the husbands would drop the babies off, and I mean babies at first. And then my daughters would pick them up after school. They both taught kindergarten, and they would come and pick. So I saw my family every single day. And those boys, they're gone. They're 20 and 21 now. They're men. I should show you a picture. I've shown some of you. Here's these big, big guys. And when I put my arms around their waist, my head is at their, it's like down here. Here's this little person and these big boys. Well, they're not boys anymore. They're looking more and more like men. But anyway, so we moved down and we stayed very involved with them until they were full-time students. And then guess what? Fran's little comments every week, because she lives a block from me. So we would take the wagon and we would go for walks. And every time we went by their house, they were, how would you like to join the village? And eventually in 2018, we did join. So I thought it was really important for you to realize that there are newbies that come to Tierrasanta and make that our home. And that's exactly what we did. And when I joined and our joined an organization, we decided that it was going to be 100% participation. I, from day one, started getting to know, what is your name and face? Name, face. In my head, I knew everybody's name and everybody's face because that's a person. They deserve to have a name and a face. And so I've worked very hard to get this. And Candy, who's not here today, she told me in the very beginning when I first started, she said, you need to be the president. Well, so anyway, I thought you might want to know why I'm kind of qualified for this job. I started off as a high school English teacher. I taught speech and English. I was hired primarily because I taught semantics because I had Hayakawa as a teacher. You probably don't know who Hayakawa is, but if you do, that's nice. I went to school, had Hayakawa as my teacher at San Diego. San Francisco State is where I went. I lived in Haight-Ashbury during the Vietnam protests. Had long hair that frizzed up because San Francisco, is lots of dampness there. Anyway, I was going to be a speech pathologist. But then my father passed away and my mother was kind of by herself. So I moved back home. I had to go back for my last finals. My father died in December and I was just starting finals. And so I had to go back and eventually I thought, well, couldn't find a speech pathology program. So I was going to go and do a master's degree in group dynamics because I believe that when you form a group, you can put a lot of pressure on people to move their behavior. But at the time, that was a radical idea, so I couldn't find a master's level group to be the, whatever they call those people. And so I went to being an English teacher, and that was fine, except in Long Beach State, which is where I ended up to get my credential. They all believe in memorizing. San Francisco State, you had to explain everything. What does this poem mean? What makes you think that it means that? Who cared who wrote it, what day it was written, and for the audience? But in Long Beach, it was all memorizing. I'm not good at memorizing, by the way, but anyway, so eventually I ended up teaching, as I said, semantics at Fullerton in Fullerton School District, and that's where I met my husband. And my husband is my soulmate, was my soulmate, is my soulmate. That's very confusing to me because I don't care if you believe this or not, but when Art died almost 3 years ago, I went to bed that night in an empty house, and his spirit joined my spirit. And I don't feel alone. I haven't felt alone. And those of you who have gone through losing your spouse, maybe you know what I'm talking about. And that's why I wear his rings, because I don't feel unmarried. I feel married still. And I'm very proud of the man he was and what we had together. I miss it. God. It was not a choice of mine, but I respected his choices. So anyway, we were very involved in this village, and our kids now are grown. Ethan is 20. He goes to the University of Wyoming. He's really happy there. He's an outdoorsman. He loves to go fishing and hunting and all those sorts of things. He's on the ice hockey team. And the boys, both of them have played ice hockey their whole lives. So, boy, has it changed since when they were little. But anyway, and Creighton is my older grandson here, and he's 21. He just became 21. So now he can go to the bar and pick up girls if he wants to. Anyway, he's a lifeguard. He finished school at University of California, Santa Cruz. He got accepted at Berkeley, but he wanted to go to Santa Cruz so he could go surfing every day, and he does. And he's a chem major. He's going to start his senior year already. I don't know where these years go to. They move so fast. I remember when he was just a little boy. Now he's this big man. But anyway, for this, I am very humbled because the people who have been on the board have given their time. No finances, they didn't get paid. Everybody who was on the board have given their time and their energy and their brain to try to figure out the best way to move us forward. And I am just one member of a board of directors, but I'm very proud to be here. And I want the very, very best for each and every one of you. I am here to learn from you what it is you want, what it is you need. And we are in the precipice of a very big change. When we embrace the service plan, most of the villages, started with the service plan, and they're looking to us on how do you do this social aspect. We've had the social aspect the entire time. Now that we're getting older and we need services, we're looking to them to give us help on how to do this. So Cassandra, I guess she left. She's busting her butt for this. She is really helping us to come with what we can do and do it right. And I hope that as we take out Mark finishes doing the transition, that by next January, we'll be in full service mode with the first one that you all asked for, which was transportation, and working on the second one, which was friendly visits. So I hope that if you have comments or if you have suggestions, if you have things that you don't like, you need to let one of the board members know so that we can take your desires into play when we make decisions. Now, I don't know why they made it this way. I think they didn't want a popularity contest, and that's why they did it this way. But we work really hard to try to do the best that we can by all of you. So please educate me, talk to me, call me if you're not happy with something, and I'll try to smooth the waters. Anyway, I don't know if that was enough background on me, but I was in private practice. I moved from being a teacher to a mom because, well, it's a long story, but I really, anyway, I became a mom and Art became the teacher. Well, he was teaching before, so was I, but anyway, so he retired before I did. And I moved from mom to being first a marriage, family, child counselor. Then I went back to school and got my PhD in clinical psych. And I had a private practice in Fullerton, and the kind of things I did were hard, draining. My internship, I dealt with people who had chronic pain problems and they were addicted to meds. And I taught them how to deal with pain without meds. That was a real challenge. I also worked in a women's clinic where the women were battered women and battered their children. It was hard work, and a lot of them were incest survivors. It was a rape center also. So I had some, I broke my teeth, not one, whole bunch, on these difficult cases. And when I did when I finished my internship and passed the bar, I mean, not the bar, I don't know what they call it, but you have to get licensed after you do a whole bunch of interning hours. I opened a practice with 4 other women psychologists, and we did a practice for a very long time. And the majority of people I had as patients were people who were traumatized by how they grew up, and they were stuck. And those people had to be, well, to make it in simple terms, they were reparented. So I couldn't leave those people. I mean, therapy and that kind of evolution, it's an evolution. It takes a couple years, 2-3 years. So when we moved down here, I was going there up to Fullerton. First 4 days a week, then 3 days a week, then 2 days a week, then once a month. And they were either finished or they moved to a different therapist. So I miss it. It was very gratifying to see people grow and develop. And I too it's just like the teaching part. I like to see people grow, and you all are growing. Like it or not, you're growing. Until you stop growing, then you'll be dead, but you're still growing. So I hope I didn't use too much of your time. I look forward.
That's okay. I know. I knew you'd like that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, August brings a lot of birthdays to our village. We have 2 pages of birthdays. So I'm going to do this quickly. But before I do, I want to point out, I forgot when I talked about new members, I introduced Joan, but online here we have Margaret King. And Margaret is a new member, less than a month as a member. So Margaret, wherever you are out there, welcome to our village. Okay, so yesterday, oh, there she is, Margaret. Hi, welcome. Thanks for coming to our meeting. Okay, so yesterday was Ruth Cleveland's birthday. And she had surgery on her birthday. And I understand from Fran that she's doing well today. Now, today we have triplets in our village. And I don't know why they're here today because it's their birthday. They should be out celebrating. Oh, they wanted to hear what's going on. So we have Diana Keys and Ann Kellett. Where's Ann? Oh, she just left. Oh, she's out. She has to go celebrate. And Ken Licht. So those three have their birthdays today. Diana? Oh, her twin sister. Oh, wonderful. Thanks for coming. That's great. Okay, and then on the 5th, we have twins. We have Steve Walsh and Sandra Tyre. Where's Steve? There he is. There's Steve is the 5th, and Sandra, a brand new member, is the twin with Steve. And then on the 9th, we have triplets again. We have Suk Kang, Bev Clay McNamara, and Kathy Guilfoyle. On the 9th, we have an anniversary, Jenny and Tom. Where's Tom? I saw him earlier. They are celebrating an anniversary on the 9th. And then on the 12th, we have twins again, Jean Kerr, who's online, or she was, she's still there, and Jill Crane. Jill, I saw you come in. Okay, so did you know you have a twin? Yes, okay. The 15th is Sean Sooney. The 17th, Benny Parker. I saw Benny over there. Benny is the 17th. The 19th is Cassandra. So if you go to the clubhouse on the 19th, be sure and wish her a happy birthday. Now, on the 24th, we have quadruplets. We have Carol Reinhardt, Carol, Mary Todd, Vera Moe. Vera, you and Carol are part of the quadruplets, and Jill Olson, who is a brand new member as well. And then we have an anniversary, Carol Higgins and Bob Higgins on the 26th. There's Carol. And on the 27th, we have Don and Gail Stewart. On the 28th, Dolores Sullivan's birthday. On the 30th, Steve Ulmer's birthday. And on the 31st, Patty Mudd's birthday. So a long list, lots of good people born in August. Okay, so we will now sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear villagers. Happy birthday to you. Many more. So Diana, and happy birthday to your twin sister too.
We have a couple of special announcements. I'm going to ask Sheila to come up here. She has an announcement or something to mention.
I know it's getting late, so I'm only going to take a second. But I want to thank all of you so much for your generous donations for the backpack drive. It was amazing. The backpacks and all the stuffing inside cost me $800, and I ended up with 450 extra. So I called JFS and I said, do you want the check when I drop off the backpacks or do you want it now? And she said, I want it now. And when Marilyn and I went to drop off the backpacks, they were able to buy 100 backpacks at Target for $4 each. I don't know how sturdy they're going to be, but they were able to do that. They told us that our group is the most consistent group in doing the backpack drive every year. And they were so pleased. So I want to thank you all and all the people who came and helped me put the backpacks together. We did it in 28 minutes. It was a record speed. And they were so gratified. They're hoping to collect 700 backpacks to give out this week. So thank you all so much for being so generous and doing all you did. Thank you.
Hey, Greg.
I just run this for the guys who are like to come to the Romeo. Everything was a little delayed and it's not in the vibes, so I'm gonna get an email out hopefully in the next day or two. It's gonna be at Tierrasanta Mexican. If anyone's not here and you know who they are, let them know and I'll try to get it out real quickly. Thank you. I'm sorry, thank you. It's the 14th. It's a week from this Thursday.
Do we have any other announcements? Okay, the meeting is adjourned and
And, perhaps we should acknowledge that in addition to Bradley becoming president, we've had some other shuffling around at the board level.
oh, that's true.
Gunner
Okay,
is now vice president of your board. And Jeannie Batterson backfilled Gunner's former role as secretary, is now secretary of the board of directors.
And we'll be looking for some new board members. We need some new members at large to join our board, so. Yes.
And we're also twins today. Just a reminder, we have some of the non-perishable foods and thank you for donating for the pantry here, the food pantry. But whoever volunteers to take them back, please remember to do so. And then don't forget to take some cards to write for the honor flight. Thank you.
And the flyer.
For the where's the flyer?
In the box behind you. To the left.
Oh.
To the left. Yes.
Yes,
zone
0. We have a box of these.
Oh.
You're welcome to take one each. You can either scan it with your phone or just look up Zone 0 on the.
Why don't you put it?
Set it by the door.
Yeah.
Set it on the table.
Okay.
Thank you.
I've got, give me some more just in case.
Just set it on the table right here. That'd be great. Okay, thank you everybody for coming and I'll see some of you at Keg and Bottle.